questions.
Thank you, Senator Peters. Senator Capito, I have an answer to your question.
Oh, good.
You were asking, has there been any testing that's gone on about accidents and the safety there? Well, last year, the University of Nebraska conducted a first-of-its-kind crash assessment. They crashed an all-electric pickup truck against a standard highway guardrail to investigate the efficacy of current safety measures in light of the increased presence of heavier EVs. During the test, this EV plowed through the guardrail and traveled into the opposite lane of traffic. In January, a group of engineers warned that increasing EVs' weights combined with reduced structural design requirements will result in reduced infrastructure safety, especially for parking structures. So testing has been done. I assume there'll be more done in the future. You brought up also with trucks and the weight of trucks. Their batteries obviously are much, much heavier than 3,000 or 4,000 pounds. So yeah, there are a lot of research needs to be done there, right? Let's see, Ms. Chase. A recent NHTSA report found that 20% of the U.S. population lived in rural communities, and Senator Klobuchar addressed this about rural areas account for about 40% of all traffic fatalities. Nebraska, I'm sorry to say, holds the second highest ratio of rural to urban fatality rates in this country. You mentioned that rural areas have rumble bars. We do, you know, on our highways in Nebraska have a number of those on every highway. It helps. You mentioned technology. You mentioned some infrastructure changes, but in the near term, do you have any ideas on upgrades that we could see for infrastructure that maybe could have some big safety gains there? I mean, it's very, very concerning when we see that continued growth in the percentage.
Thank you for the question, Senator. I do think that rural areas, we know that they can benefit from vehicle-to-everything technologies. And this is technology that an agency, a state DOT or other public agency can deploy today. And there are grants available today through the infrastructure law to access these funds. But they can deploy these roadside units to be able to communicate with fleets and then other drivers if they're deployed in the vehicles. They can provide, you know, curve speed warning alerts, right? If a vehicle is going too fast into a curve, weather warning alerts. We've seen great success in Wyoming using primarily weather warning alerts because it's the freight corridor there has such spot weather impacts and wind and a risk of semis tipping over. So those, and actually they have a lot of data that shows that there's been significant reduction in crashes. So I think that that's an important technology to be deploying and investing in today, understanding that some of the safety benefits will come, you know, immediately and more will come in the long term as this technology gets deployed more ubiquitously and scaled throughout the transportation system.
Thank you. Mr. Nelson, I was interested to see that in your testimony you said that rising traffic fatalities correlate with drops in the enforcement of life-saving traffic safety laws. And you noted that citations for DUIs and other types of dangerous driving have decreased by as much as 50% in some regions. I noticed that you attributed much of this to the staffing challenges that law enforcement agencies are facing right now. And I have a bill that I hope the President will be signing. It recently passed Senate and the House, and it addresses that staffing concern. It also contains a new GAO study to assess the law enforcement staffing crisis at departments nationwide. And this includes the impacts this issue is having on public safety. Do you believe that traffic fatalities should be among the public safety impacts that my bill, hopefully soon law, that study should evaluate? Is that something that once we get this signed, we can recommend that be included?
Absolutely, because I think we need to underscore the important role that law enforcement plays in enforcing proven life-saving laws. Research is crystal clear that when risk of perceived apprehension goes down, that risk-taking behaviors go up. And the International Association of Chiefs of Police did a survey of law enforcement agencies nationwide, confirming the concerns with staffing shortages and tied it to negative perceptions of law enforcement profession overall throughout the United States. And so, as I noted in my testimony, one of the ways that we can help address that is to offer more support to law enforcement through accessing better data, stop data, to increase transparency and to communicate to the communities that they serve and protect.
Could I have my staff reach out to you for information on that and some more ideas that we could hopefully help guide where the committee will be looking, that study will be going then?
Senator, we would love that.
Great, thank you.